just entertaining. I love memes. Like, I want to see good memes.
You want me to be entertaining? I can try. Right, so that's what we got to stick manify. Please put a picture of me on the wall. All right, so she's got a head, she's got eyes.
We'll get to them very, very short.
Seriously?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's all business this week on the vidIQ channel audit live streams. Let's do this.
vidIQ.
vidIQ.
vidIQ.com.
I am your host, Rob Wilson. Welcome to vidIQ, the YouTube tool, the YouTube channel, the YouTube Learning Academy that educates you on your YouTube journey. And usually we'd have quite a little bit of fun. We have some entertaining characters. Dan likes to mispronounce channel names, and Travis is Travis. But they both abandoned me this week. So instead, we got the business team in, and we could only start with the man with the coolest glasses in live streaming history. That is Jeff. Jeff, say hello to the wonderful vidIQ community. Oh, wow. I made all sorts of mistakes there. I didn't fix the camera. There we go. That's fixed. Jeff is now on screen. I've fixed it. I chopped your head off to begin with there. Right, so Jeff is here, and he is all business. But there is one true businessman of the channel audit world, and he is making his triumphant return after a hiatus because he's been very busy auditing channels, but he's found some time in his calendar. We are welcoming back for a one-off special. I'm sure you'll all remember him from the most fantastic memes of the week we ever had. It is Alexi. Alexi, say hello to this community that has been wishing for your return for months. It sounded like you're on the classic Eurovision delay there, whereas it just like there was 5 seconds of silence, and then you just popped in there. Hello, Alexi. Welcome back. Oh, Dan's also come on screen as well there. Hey, Dan, how are you doing? Oh, you joking. Oh, dear, oh, dear. I'll tell you what, hang on. Oh, this is going to fix it. There we go. Try it now. Somebody talk. Can anybody hear everybody? Just somebody say yes, they can hear us. Well, you see, I'll tell you why this has happened. They are muted. I guess people can hear me, right? This is... let me see... Right. Okay, this is brilliant. This is absolutely brilliant. Let me try that. Now speak, everybody.
Testing.
Hey, there we go. I managed to
Hello,
fix it.
everyone.
I reckon that's fixed it because I can see the audio levels now. Well, what an amazing intro that was from everybody.
There you go. All right.
I'll tell you why that was.
Do-over. We got to do a do-over now.
I'll tell you why that happened. It's because whenever Streamlabs, updates itself, it resets some of the audio settings. So what it did is it reset the input source. I know this is really boring for everybody, but it reset the input source to default on my computer, which is nothing. So then I have to reset it back to whatever it is, which is the Blue Yeti microphone, because the audio is coming through here. And when I recorded, it worked fine in a test, but for some reason it didn't. So what an amazing intro that was. I'm just waffling now about how frustrated I am with Streamlabs. I can't remember what it's called. I really flustered myself. But let's try this again. So Dan, I'm just going to let you introduce yourself.
Hey, how's it going, community? I'm Dan H. I assume you can hear me now. I am taking the Dan role this week, so I will be helping with gaming channels and mispronouncing channel names. That's my role.
Sweet stuff. All right, let's introduce a now audible Jeff. All business still, I hope.
Of course, man. Always all business. Keep it nice and professional here on the stream. So glad you guys can hear me now. And if you can't hear me, what's up, everybody?
And now you've had a few more minutes to prepare this most amazing introduction, Alexi. Take it away.
Yeah, hi everyone. Thanks for inviting me to the live stream, and I appreciate the epic intro, Rob.
You're more than welcome, Lexi. You're more than welcome. Folks, welcome back once again to the vidIQ channel at live streams, where technical issues are prominent in all of our live streams. But now that we've got everything working, I think we should be able to now say hello to some of our awesome community who've joined us this week. So I think I'll kick this off by saying hello to Animated Creeper, Michael Shiro, Emil Strikis, hope I've pronounced your name correctly, My TV Sat. We've also got Violet Stars in the house, Milan Gamer, and finally the Royal Nation family. And Dan, mispronounce some channel names, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go with Pasta Time. We have Zanzazarius in this thing. We have Dem Beat Sabers and Vive Pro. Also, Bori Violin.
Bori Violin, not Bori Piano this week. Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's the
Oh,
mispronunciation.
you're sorry. Yeah, I'm not following. That was a mispronunciation joke. I get it. That was actually nicely done, Dan. It's me being very slow. Jeff, tell us who you're saying hello to.
So let's see here. Let's start off with Road Rush Nation. What's up, man? And we've also got who do we got here? Joe's Phenomenal. What's up, brother? How you doing, man? And the Virtual Tech Station. How you doing? Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, everybody, as always, for joining us. And yeah, hello, Zenzarius. Hello, welcome. I hope you're doing okay. We'll say that. Welcome to the live stream, everybody. If this is your first time here, then please do let us know in the chat. From this moment on is going to be a flawless live stream where nothing is going to go wrong. And so what we're going to do next is show you how this live stream actually works for the next couple of hours with this quick 60-second explainer for those new folks. Welcome to the vidIQ channel audit live stream, where we review your YouTube channels. There are 2 links in the description, one for gaming channels, one for non-gaming channels. Make sure you submit every week as we clear the form after every live stream. Channel audits are 100% free, so please don't send us any super chats expecting to receive an audit. And don't waste your time asking for one in the chat. If there are any alternative ways to get picked for an audit, such as memes, we will let you know during the live stream. If we can't audit your channel today, vidIQ has a channel audit tool working 24/7 for you. If you haven't already installed vidIQ, download it now for free. A link is in the description, and make sure to take advantage of our free 30-day trial. If you submit your channel for audit, expect the following. We are sharing nothing more than our knowledge, our experience, and our passion as fellow YouTube creators. It's up to you whether or not you take our advice. There are tons of links to lots of useful resources in the video description. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already done so. Share this live stream with another fellow creator who may find it useful. And finally, moderators, thank you for everything that you do every single week. All right, let's do this. We are moments away from auditing your channels, but just a little bit of housekeeping first. As always, we continue to support the COVID-19 Solidarity Response Fund with any super chats. I was just looking at in our back end, and we've now done this for 52 consecutive channel audit live streams for the last year, and we've raised over $2,000 for that cause. So thank you very much for previous donations and any donations during this live stream, and we will continue to support it until we are all through this together. Make sure to get your shot if you are eligible. I think that's another little thing that we would all encourage you to do. Folks, we get around about 1,000 channel submissions every single week, so we do apologize if we can't audit your channel today, but here's what I suggest you do. Whether you're on mobile or you're watching on desktop, just load up your channel page right now, whether it's the front page or the videos tab, to show you all of your thumbnails and titles, because a lot of the things that we talk about, whether it is a gaming channel, a beauty channel, a tech channel, a lot of the things we talk about are fundamentals that apply to all channels of shapes and sizes. So as we're looking at one of these channels, maybe just glance over to your channel and think, yeah, they're talking about thumbnails here, and maybe that's what I can do to tweak mine and make them look a little better. And finally, we are, of course, a channel audit service during this live stream, but we also have a vast range of tools that will help you 24/7. And just to give you a brief example, this is one example of the many tools that we have, and I'm delighted to share this tool this week because we're finally in the green in terms of our own channel performance. This is our channel audit tool that's there for you when we are not. And it gives you a breakdown of all of these little things that are happening on your channel in terms of video velocity, what's happening with competitors that you add, who you're tracking through the vidIQ software, which videos are getting the most watch time, which videos are being suggested to your channel from other creators, which can be really valuable, especially for us, since we're doing a lot of YouTube Shorts now. We're getting a lot of traffic from other YouTube Shorts channels. There's all of this valuable information on this report card, which you can maybe look at for either 5 minutes a day, or you could jump into it for an entire hour every single day to just get the lowdown on how your channel is performing with very specific videos. And that is available for both free, pro, and boost users. But if you want to take full advantage of all of our software, absolutely free for the next 30 days, then we have a link both in the video description, and hopefully, Dan, if you can drop that in there in the pinned comment as well, where you'll get full access to vidIQ for the next 30 days through our free trial if you are a new customer. With all of that being said, I think it's time that we actually got down to looking at your channels in this channel audit live stream. So with that being said, I hope Jeff, Dan, and Alexi, can you see my screen?
Yep.
Sure can.
Everybody can see our screen on the live stream. So the first channel we're going to audit, as usual, is the first channel that's submitted in the form when we went public with this live stream yesterday, and that is Legendary PCO. On the face of it, this looks like a gaming channel, but it isn't. It is a Pokemon card opening channel, which is a little different to a gaming channel. And so let's start here. I think the long-awaited return of Alexi. So let's go to Alexi first for your opening first thoughts and impressions on this channel. What have we got to look at here?
Yeah, I mean, the banner is pretty nice, pretty colorful. I like the graphics there. Also, the text is pretty clear, legendary Pokemon card openings. So I guess the focus here is on legendary, which means it's not just going to... I mean, I'm not sure if it's going to be just the experience going to be legendary or whether the cards will be legendary. Mm-hmm. I'm not too familiar with Pokemon, but I know there are different card rarities. I think in general, let's say the idea behind the channel is pretty interesting too, because we all know that people enjoy... I mean, in the gaming space, people enjoy crate openings, card openings. It's just the same. Unboxing is really just the big thing, the overarching niche here. So the idea is definitely legit. I like the banner. From the looks of it, some of the thumbnails have text that is a little bit too small. But I'll let maybe Jeff give some thoughts on this.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's one of the things that I completely agree with. On some of them, it is really, really small, and I like the fact that he has his face kind of showing up in some of the thumbnails. But I think a little bit of thumbnail research is what's kind of needed here. I'd be looking at what other people in the Pokemon, unboxings or card openings and collector space, what else are they doing? What is getting clicks? So if you type in, Pokemon card unboxing, what kind of thumbnails are coming up? And those are the ones you really want to start paying attention to. Yeah, see, he's going crazy over these, or, he's making the funny face. If that stuff's working, it might be something to start kind of getting some inspiration from.
Yeah, I bring up Leon Hart because I think he's a very well-known Pokemon card collector and I guess unboxing opener of the cards. At Legendary PCO, you are still very new on your YouTube journey. You've been on YouTube for 3 months. So I credit you in the fact that it looks as if you are a clear focus. I think, Alexei, what you were alluding to there is kind of the unboxing idea and trying to create that feeling of scarcity, or you're going to be opening something new that you're not necessarily going to see on another channel. And also the idea of FOMO, fear of missing out. Like, if you don't watch this video, you're not going to see me opening this very rare card. And I think that's the vibe that the creator eventually wants to get to. My question to the creator is, what is the hero of the channel? And I assume your answer is going to be the cards or the characters in those cards that you're opening. So I would like to see that sold really well on the thumbnails. As you've both pointed out, some of the text is illegible sometimes, like especially on this one. And then also here, just thinking about the topography of the thumbnail itself, the positioning of things. Again, you're a little bit too small here, and we maybe want to see a better reaction from you. And then the card here is far too small. I can't really decipher anything here. But going forward to this one that you made a week ago, I think there's already some good evolution here. I can read the text. I can see the cards a little bit more. You've got a better YouTube reaction. So already within the space of, I guess, a month of this thumbnail and this thumbnail, things are going well in terms of how you're trying to create intrigue within the thumbnails. So I want to credit you there. Any thoughts just generally on the titles as we look through them? Like opening a Pokemon Shining Fates Pikachu, Rainbow and Amazing Rare Pulled, Vivid Voltage.
Do you think there's multiple titles in a title?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, it almost looks as if...
I'm not a fan of that.
The titles are very much keyword-centric with no like emotional draw or pull, which I think is quite powerful and important within this space.
Yeah, I think that's the thing where, I mean, we can get caught up in that, especially like I made the same mistakes when I was first starting out and I started learning about SEO and doing the titling and stuff and being keywords. And so I was thinking, oh yeah, let me just put a bunch of keywords in the title instead of like, I was trying to please the search engine instead of thinking I should be pleasing the audience. I should get them to get a human to want to click on it, so that's something that I would definitely look at. The titling, if you can still include those keywords in your video description, you can include them in your tags. But really just kind of tighten up that title, make it a sentence, a short sentence that is easy for somebody to understand, with like, if you can do it in less than 50 characters, more power to you.
I don't want to put you on the spot, Alexei, but sometimes we've collaborated behind the scenes on some of our vidIQ videos, and I think you're really good at pulling out sometimes the emotional draw. Like if we were to maybe retitle this, are there any, I guess, instinctive ideas you may be coming up with in terms of a title?
To be honest, yeah, you are putting me a little bit on the spot here. Hard to say because I don't have a huge familiarity with the niche, but here's the thing, right? Even if we are, let's say, brainstorming ideas internally, the process can be replicated by pretty much anyone. So what I would recommend to this creator is, I mean, you already touched on this, and Jeff as well. YouTube search is your best friend. And also when you look at the on the right side here and suggested, oftentimes you will find some interesting titles from there. So I would not be afraid to pretty much copy some of the titles that I feel like connect with me from other creators. Obviously, your suggestions here, Rob, are all about YouTube and tech because the suggestions are personalized. But for the creator, ideally, the suggestions will be more in line with Pokemon content. And so from there, I would just literally take the title from someone who is bigger than me. PokeGrade, a new UK Pokemon grading company worth using. Probably question mark is the title there. So yeah, it's really a small things like asking a question. Am I gonna get, legendary Mewtwo question mark, right? Something like this. And I mean, it's been ages since I've been into Pokemon, so I only know the Pokemons from the 2nd generation. But yeah, kind of like along those lines, right? Question marks. I mean, I bought this thing and the 3rd card I got was this, right?
Yeah.
So basically, the big idea here is really imagine you're talking to your friend. You're not making a presentation in front of your teacher at school. You're just talking to a friend and you're saying, dude, you're not going to believe this. I bought this pack and the first card I pulled was Mewtwo or whatever. Imagine you're talking like this to your audience and then just wrap this up in a very similar title and you're good to go. So I would say that's the advice here.
I felt like this one was a good example. I mean, usually you wouldn't mention Walmart at all in a Pokemon card hunt, but all of a sudden there's a lot of new stock at Walmart, and that creates like an intrigue and almost an adventure within the title. Makes it more clickable, I think. But yeah, the way you put that, Alexi, imagine as well as obviously the keyword richness that you want to try and include in a title, imagine that you're also speaking to an individual about what you discovered. Is good. I also just wanted to point out as well, I think that for a new creator 3 months in, the video format seems interesting in that not only are you showing the product, but you're also filming yourself at the same time. So giving like a picture-in-picture view, which I think is good from a personality and creating a connection point of view. And I like that there. So just summarizing this channel, you are still relatively new. I would like to see a bit more consistency. You've only posted 2 videos in the last month. Try and get that to once a week maybe would be good. We're thinking continue to tweak the thumbnails. You're going in the right direction. And creating an emotional draw and pull in the titles of perhaps the 3 things to focus on for this channel. But congratulations on 55 subscribers for your channel there, Legendary PCO. So that is the first channel that we've audited. It was a non-gaming channel in a sense. Now we're going to audit a gaming channel. And I think let's just drop this over to Dan H to bring him in, and then maybe we'll jump to Alexi afterwards. So we're looking at X Sammy D here. Dan, what are your first impressions here?
Yeah, it looks like a Fortnite channel, right? So nothing too surprising there, but pushing 2,000 subscribers. So congrats to X Sammy D there. Obviously, Fortnite has been a super popular game. I know we'll get plenty of comments saying that the game is dying, but also looks like they have some Among Us content now as we scroll down there. So, one thing we talk about is channel focus. So obviously you want to look to see which of these videos are doing well. If they're both doing well, then, you can continue to do that. There's nothing wrong with bigger channels, especially having a few different types of content. It will be interesting, especially since there isn't a ton of content here, that obviously you're doing super well. So it would be nice to see what is gaining you the most subscribers, if it was one or the other, or is it strictly that people are coming for your personality? And that is especially great, because if people are coming back for your personality, they're obviously more likely to come back for the content regardless of what you're making it about. Whereas opposed to if you're very strictly a content focused channel and you're making Among Us stuff, you switch to Fortnite, you're going to see a huge drop off in viewers. So obviously always keep that in mind. Even if you're having success, you want to keep those metrics in mind and see if certain videos are not performing well, and you really want to double down on the ones that are performing well. The thumbnails, I think, can definitely use some work. Obviously, this channel is having good success, but I think they're very busy thumbnails. From a quick glance, especially on mobile, you're probably going to have a hard time figuring out exactly what's happening from this. Even, that top right Fortnite montage, it's a good thumbnail compared to a lot of the others, but it does not give us a lot of context. It looks like you won a Fortnite match, so I would expect it to be sort of a tip for winning or just a recap of you winning. Whether or not it would be a montage is a little, unclear just from looking at it. But what I would say is that is a simple thumbnail, and I think that is going to go a long way with some of these others. Like, some of them with the Fortnite memes, it has 850 views and all of your content is doing well, but the question is, can you do it a little bit better? Can you get the CTR on this video a little bit better than your last video? And one thing that we see that helps a lot is focusing your thumbnails, making them a bit cleaner, and as we'll talk about, is looking at other Fortnite channels and seeing what they're doing.
You didn't point out here the contrasting games that are being covered, Dan, and this most recent one, the Minecraft memes. On first impressions, I mean, it's not been live for 24 hours yet, but it doesn't seem to be performing as well as your Fortnite content. I'm actually surprised a little bit, given the channel size at just under 2,000 subscribers, that they're getting some really nice views from these memes and montages, which we don't often see in this space. So I don't know if there's anything, I wonder if there's anything maybe going on that we're not quite following. The reason I asked that is because when I sort by most popular, according to this, the most popular video has 2,000 views, and there are that many videos on the channel. So how have they got 2,000 subscribers? Bit of a curious question there, but we don't have more details or evidence on that. And then I was just thinking in terms of the titles, Fortnite montage. Surely you could include a little bit more about maybe one of the montages in there. Like, is it on a particular theme of montages, whether it be headshots or comedic moments or glitches? And then again, season 6 memes. Is there a potential to add a little bit more to the title there? I think this channel is doing well, but I think, as you highlighted, Dan, there's perhaps missed opportunities to perhaps do even better by improving the thumbnails and the titles. Final words here to Alexei, and then we'll move on to the next channel.
Yeah, for me, this is, I had similar thoughts when you were saying that the channel doesn't have that many videos, but has a, almost 2,000 subscribers. So I was wondering, if you click on stats here from vidIQ, whether we will see maybe that some videos got removed.
Yeah.
I mean, there you see, right, jumps. So it looks like some videos got removed even in this month. Or maybe not, I'm not sure. But either way, it feels like maybe that the channel, 730 subscribers, was it in the last 6 months that you filtered by?
Yeah, last 6 months it was. Let me just do that again for
last
you.
6 months, yeah, all right. So, yeah, so in the last 6 months. And then, it's interesting, right? When you have graphs like this and spikes like this, what videos are generating such a huge conversion for the channel would be interesting. Yeah. But in terms of thumbnails, one thing I did like about the channel is I do like these effects that make this motion blur type of effect, I guess. The third one from the left, Fortnite arena memes, like those white lines that make it kind of, like it's like the character is moving. Yeah. So I do like this. And also I think when it comes to busyness in thumbnails, I think this is just something that is very common in the gaming space, right? I mean, everybody's just trying to stuff so many elements into a thumbnail. And I think, especially if you are, if people think if I want to be competitive, I need to do the same thing. And so it's very difficult maybe sometimes to just go with different routes and just say, hey, I'm not going to make my thumbnail that busy. Because trust me, when you check some of those Fortnite thumbnails, sometimes you will see like 7-8 elements going on, 3 different backgrounds right, at the same time. So, it's almost like peer pressure where you have to do the same thing.
Yeah.
So, I do like some of the designs here. Some are better than others.
Yeah.
And still curious how the channel grew so quick. I mean, grew by those numbers with that many videos. So
yeah, I'm just going to click into one because the engagement seems fine. It doesn't. It looks as if the content is being watched organically on YouTube. How many comments are they getting? Yeah, 100 comments. So all of that seems to fall in line with a channel that's not doing anything odd, in a sense. We're just wondering how the subscriber counts versus the view counts are matching, because these are really strong numbers to be getting. I would say 500 views plus per video for a channel of 2,000 subscribers or less is a very, very strong community that you built up, albeit a relatively small one. So I think continue to feed that community with the content. It's just maybe tweaking the thumbnails and the titles again with the previous channel. So that is XD Sammy. Let's just quickly talk about something, Dan, that we don't always talk about. It's another one of our social platforms. We often talk about Discord. It's a very thriving space for us, but we're also very active on Instagram. And you decided to do this with me this week, Dan. Why was that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we try and mix it up a little bit, try and sort of reward everyone who is an engaged member of our community. And sometimes the Instagram channel does not get quite as much love, especially on a live stream like this, as the Discord and some of the other communities. But again, I appreciate, and we appreciate, every single person who takes the time out to interact with our content, to talk with us on Discord, to come into this live stream and hit that like button, share it with their friends, and do all those things. So like I said, we give a Discord audit basically every single week, and that is a big thank you to all the people in our Discord server. But I thought I would mix it up a little bit. We were getting good responses on this photo on our Twitter account, where we do a weekly giveaway, the same as we did in Discord. So I thought, why not throw it out to our Instagram followers, our highly engaged community over there, and see what they could come up with as far as a caption for this excellent picture of Rob Wilson that I'm pretty sure I took from a live stream. I'm not exactly sure. And there were a whole bunch of amazing responses. So thank you very much to that. And I've pinned our Instagram to the top of this live stream chat. And as it says, I will be eternally grateful for everyone who follows and engages and talks to us there, because, usually you're talking to me.
So the winner was SoFly Official, who captioned this with when someone walks in the room while you're recording an intro. And that's actually almost pinpoint accurate, because what probably happened there is my fiance probably started a Zoom call in her room and she didn't plug in the headphones. And that's what usually happens. That's why I get really annoyed when I'm trying to record. And so I just have to stare at her with menacing eyes, because I can't say anything while she's on a meeting. But hopefully she looks at me and then says, oh yeah, I need to put in my headphones. Anyway, the channel we're going to audit here is, I know it's another Fortnite channel, folks, but don't worry. We're not going to be auditing Fortnite channels all of the time. Sometimes we go weeks without auditing a Fortnite channel, and a few come along at once. And we're looking at a more successful channel here called SoFly Official. And I know, Jeff, gaming isn't your strongest suit, but I just want to get your first impressions on this one before maybe jumping back to Dan and Alexi. So what would you say about this one?
Sure. Well, I mean, just right up front, I like the fact that they have the character, right there, right on the banner. So that's what I like. SoFly, so it looks good right off top. So very colorful, and it's letting us know, at least an idea of what we're going to get from this. The thumbnails overall look pretty good, but I'm just kind of interested at some of these thumbnails with the Vivo logo, because that's usually what you find with a music video. And I'm assuming either they're making a music video, or I'm not exactly sure what's going on there. Because it doesn't seem like maybe it's not gaming. Maybe it is some sort of dance music video compilation kind of a thing.
I think they've got
interesting. I mean, it's a little different.
They've got a couple of interesting things going on, because as you say, Jeff, I see these Vivo style videos, but I keep seeing, and I think this is the foundation of how the channel's been able to grow within a very competitive niche, is these unreleased skins videos. Like some of these have got like 100,000 views, and I was trying to scroll through here, because I think this might be really useful for gaming channels to understand how this channel starts to really branch out as a Fortnite channel. And I was getting down to here when, the views now are in the hundreds. So they must have done something which really kickstarted the channel. And I think I came across, where was it? Yeah, I think whenever they started to use unreleased skins. So again, that idea of fear of missing out, they've got something exclusive. And whenever they make those videos, like again, hit 118,000 views, I think that was the pivot point. That's when they really latched onto something. And so...
Yeah, no, for sure. And you see that every time when they do that, the views they jump. So
let's just do a quick find. So 100,000 views there, 82,000 views there. Not all of these jump out, but like 100,000 views. It feels like they know they have a base here, but it allows them to experiment with all of this other weird and wacky stuff, because we've got another one of these official music videos, which has 50,000 views.
Yeah. Interesting.
So a lot of interesting things going on here.
So it doesn't seem like a Let's Play channel, which is quite interesting, because usually when we find one of these, it's usually Let's Play, and maybe this differentiator of them being gaming, but they're doing something different. They have a different shtick, a different angle, and that's where they're finding some growth. And obviously they have their thumbnails are popping, so they look pretty nice. They stand out. But yeah, I mean, this is pretty interesting. I like the fact that they've gone a different direction within gaming to really stand out. So this is something that we have there's plenty of gaming channels sitting in the chat right now, and some of you guys may be want to be taking notes. Look at what somebody's doing differently instead of just recording themselves playing a game.
Yeah, like 10 months ago.
And then one thing I'll point out is, obviously they've found sort of a unique way to capitalize on this, so that's awesome, and they're doing a great job on that. I will say that sort of red to orange gradient on some of these texts, I'm finding, especially looking at it from this kind of view, is pretty hard to see, very hard to read. So again, some of these videos are doing great even with that, but sort of we always want to talk about optimization and sort of doing all of the little things you can. So I wonder if this person is watching this review and they're going to see it from this view, and there's a good chance that they're going to look at some of that text and be like, wow, that is really hard to see. So when it's playing Fortnite with Spider-Man, that width is super clear. The Spider-Man obviously is a super readable, recognizable font. I wonder if sort of that gradient there is not doing a ton of benefit to those thumbnails, especially with some of the backgrounds that they're using.
So I just did a search for Fortnite unreleased skins as the keyword phrase within Fortnite, and it looks as if SoFly Official, I think that's their channel name, is...
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say that the biggest channel in this space, but they are the most consistent channel. They're creating content on this on a very regular basis and doing very well through it. So, yeah, any gaming channel, maybe look at SoFly Official. And what I would encourage you to do, I think I scrolled down a little bit and I found, and I've probably lost it now, there was, I think it was here, that they came... What I think happened is that they had some success with this unreleased leaked emotes, and then they decided to do a follow-up one, and that one really blew up. And then there was a couple where, they weren't that successful. They're still in Fortnite, but I guess more Let's Play or maybe comedy ones, and then they go back to unreleased skins again, and boom, the videos do absolutely phenomenal, and they're learning more and more that is their take-home content. So it's funny in that we're not really helping this channel with their audit, but we're using this as a example of how a gaming channel can find success and then really double down on it. And Alexi, just any final thoughts or words from you on this one, unless we've already covered everything that you were maybe going to cover?
Yeah, you guys covered pretty much everything. I do want to say a huge respect to this creator, because it feels like they have multiple, buckets of content. So it's unreleased skins, it's on this thing, really creative stuff. So, I mean, at the end of the day, this is what you have to do on YouTube. You have to stand out. You have to be creative, right? Because you're a creator. So, this guy is doing it the right way, and big shout out to you.
You raise a really good point there, Alexa, in that, yes, you can discover like your own little corner of YouTube. In this case, the channel, it's unreleased skins, but that doesn't mean that all of a sudden your channel is made out of glass and that you can only make content about unreleased skins. you can use that as your foundation and the basis of your channel because you know your audience is gonna, or YouTube's gonna serve that content to the right audience all of the time. But you can still experiment with these other video ideas, and they might not all work, but you know what does work. So again, like, I think for this channel, it's maybe like 50% of their content is of these unreleased skins, and then it allows them to 50% experiment with other stuff, although I think they all also know that their music content is going very well as well. So gaming channels, especially Fortnite channels, bookmark SoFly Official, check out their channel and do a bit of research to understand why their channel is breaking out in, as Dan says, supposedly a dying gaming genre, and a very competitive one still.
Don't put
From
my name
then,
attached to that dying game genre stuff. I don't need those emails.
from a gaming channel now to something completely different. We're looking at Super Shooting Star SVG, grow your business, change your life. Let's start with Jeff on this one. First impressions, can you work out what this channel is about in 15 seconds? Because I'm struggling a little bit from the value proposition.
From the value proposition, it's a bit of a struggle, but from the first row of thumbnails, it looks like they're doing a lot around Etsy and business, like, you know, time management, how to report infringement, 99 Etsy passive income ideas,
Okay.
Etsy SEO. Yeah. So it looks like that's something that if they're doing mostly Etsy content, or if that's what is getting them a lot of views, they may want to reflect that in their banner. So instead of having their Shooting Star SVG logo, they could have put, you know, Etsy's logo up there or something.
Yeah.
Just something to kind of let people know, like, hey, I'm somebody who's a specialist on doing business on Etsy. So why not lean into that? That way there is no confusion about what's going on. Aside from that, it looks like they've kind of switched up their thumbnails because they were doing this thumbnail wallpaper.
Yeah. Have fun with these, Jeff.
And it looks like yeah, I mean, it's I get what they were doing, but there's just first of all, it's just too much text. Like this is just too much. This is just craziness. But I like that they've made some changes here, and the create silhouettes from images. That first one, awesome. Create silhouettes from images, and the second one, okay, cool. 99 passive ideas, awesome. Only problem with the last one is purple on purple. It can get lost, especially if you're looking at that on a tiny screen. It can get lost. I like the fact that they finally thrown that Etsy logo into the thumbnail, though. That way people know. Same way that Photoshop channels throw the PS logo and, you know, stuff like that. So I like what they're doing. Just be mindful of those colors. You don't want it to get lost and that sort of stuff. But I like that they've made a change. They're leaning into how to create silhouettes. Okay.
What's interesting here, Jeff, is that I think what they've identified is not only a new thumbnail style, but they've applied that, if I keep scrolling, to some of their older videos. So what I think's happened here is I don't think these thumbnails were there to begin with. I guess that they've decided on this new thumbnail style, and then they've retroactively applied that thumbnail style to their most successful videos. Because if you look on a lot of these videos, they're getting like a couple of hundred views, but all of the ones with a different custom thumbnail, they're in the thousands. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that's a good strategy.
No, that's actually exactly what I did when I found a thumbnail style that was working better for me. I essentially sorted by I looked at my analytics and I was looking at what are my top 10 videos over the last 90 days that are still pulling views. I went back and I changed those thumbnails first.
Yeah.
And then I started going back and changing as many of them as I possibly could. That was sensible to do. But yeah, that makes perfect sense. So except for their most popular video, they haven't done that one yet.
Yeah.
But I guess if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
And then if I've just resorted by most popular here because they're covering a lot of things on Etsy. And so I'm just wondering if there's anything specifically within the Etsy theme that this creator can focus on a little bit. And is there anything jumping out here? Because SVG is a file format, right? And I think that's a graphical file format.
I think so. What were you going to say, Dan?
No, I was going to let Rob go there. We can circle back.
So I'm just curious to know what's so important about SVG files in Etsy. because Etsy is a place where I guess craft artists sell their unique designs.
Right.
So where does the SVG come into this? I mean, there's obviously a market for this, given that there's some videos that are performing really well here. But I'm wondering
they're selling the designs.
Why that is.
Well, they're selling the designs because like, if you look at the second most popular video, it's how to make SVG files to sell.
Right. Okay. So it's
So I think they're selling the actual designs.
I see.
The way that you see other creators selling assets, you know, like PNG files and like videos, like custom templates and things of that nature, lower thirds. So that might be what they're doing. Is they might be selling assets, you know, that happen to be SVG files.
So obviously going forward, but I think the creator's already identified this. Every single thumbnail has to include a representation of the file or the image as opposed to the text. But I think you're already on that path, which is good to see. And then I'm just wondering if it is potentially worth revisiting any of these videos, especially if they're still bringing in views today. Like let's say, for example, this one. Let's say that brings in still 100 views a day. It might be worth revisiting that one, looking at the comments and making an update video on that, just to further reinforce your authority and expertise on that particular subject within the Etsy space.
Yeah, 100%. If we see an opportunity like this on your own channel, you know, if you look at your analytics and you got a video from, you know, nearly a year ago and it's still bringing you views, there's no reason why, assuming that in the past year you have grown your experience level and your expertise on that particular topic or subject or whatever it might be, then there's no reason why you can't do an updated one for 2021. Yeah. And next year, there's no reason why you can't do an updated one for 2022.
Yeah. Again, final thoughts, Alexi, or are we good to move on?
Yeah, we're good to move on. I do like the fact that you pointed out, you know, probably this creator has white wallpaper thumbnails. Then the success came with the thousands of views, and then they thought to change the thumbnails basically to make it even more appealing. So basically, the takeaway here is that you can get away with a white thumbnail basically, or wallpaper style thumbnail, as long as the value proposition of the video is interesting, right? So I mean, there are certain topics in this Etsy space that people will watch regardless of the thumbnail. Mm-hmm. That's the lesson here, right? So really interesting to me.
Mm-hmm. So that is Shooting Star SVG, and we'll now go on to the Twitter version of the caption competition that we had, where there's a lot more flexibility in Twitter that you can literally turn this image into anything you want. And that is what Savion did by putting me very creepily in a children's classroom by myself. I don't know why we picked. Well, no, I said that was the winner, didn't I, Dan? Because it just makes me laugh.
I was gonna say we picked it, yeah, because you shouted it out as the winner in our Slack channel. But yeah, so while we did the caption contest on Instagram, which is obviously works well on Instagram, on Twitter, like you said, a bit more flexibility. So we had a Photoshop battle. So Rob Wilson is not unaccustomed to being Photoshopped and having him placed into memes. And once again, a ton of great submissions from you guys.
Yeah, look at that one. That's weird, but look at that one. Yeah, you've already done all of the memes of the week for me through that. Hang on, what? I didn't see that one. I can't read that though. It's the writing's too small, and that one's just weird as well. But all very good. I'll be looking through them later and putting them on memes of the week. So the winner, as we said, was Savion. I hope I've pronounced that correctly. And you look to be a Roblox channel with 600 subscribers. Okay, so what are we looking at here in terms of a Roblox channel? My first question to you would be is what type of Roblox channel is it? Is it like a montage, like meme channel, or is it educational, or is it focusing on a particular mod within Roblox? Because I'm not getting a strong vibe of any particular thing right now. from the channel. I'll open up this to opinions from other auditors here. Are we picking up any strong vibes?
Not particularly. With 600 subs, I'd be interested to see what the most popular videos are on this channel, since a lot of these videos are not reaching there. So there we go. How to join a specific server. What happens when you trade. I trolled. That's probably not great. Roblox new home. So, the stuff that is updates and newsworthy is doing well. And the stuff that is sort of tips and tricks in a way. I know Roblox has a lot of different ways to sort of gain money that's not playing the game, or kind of coupon code type things, or special access to certain games that can give you a lot of extra money. So those types of tips and tricks do really well, and I think we see that across a lot of the Roblox channels that we audit. The problem is that most Roblox players probably don't want to concentrate all their time and effort doing those types of videos. That's a very specific thing. That's not really playing the game. That's sort of showing you the things outside of the game that can help you, or showing you the sort of little tips and tricks that aren't, specific gameplay things. So while those things are working, I highly recommend doubling down on them whenever you can, whenever you find news and breaking information, whenever you find those little hacks, quote unquote, or cheats, to do those. But then when you're not doing those, make sure you're focusing on something very specific, whether it's exploring a very specific game that is popular and getting all the different aspects of that game, doing what some of the more popular Roblox players are, like this server here. If a popular YouTuber is exploring that server, or is on that server and playing a lot of games, or playing the game often, there are definitely ways to break off your content and make sure that you're really focusing on it. Because when you're jumping around from game to game within Roblox, we find that growth really struggles, because there's just so much to Roblox. A lot of your fans probably have specific interests, are interested in the niches. I can't say that word anymore, within Roblox. But again, they may not be all-encompassing Roblox fans where they want to see every single little bit of information. So if you could focus on something specific for a few videos and see how well that is working for you, mix in some of the breaking news, some of this content that is really working for you. But again, I don't think you want your channel to be devoted specifically to that. Find the servers, find the games that are working well for you, double down on them, and consistently make content on those specifically before you jump around too much and lose some of your audience traction that way.
And I think it is worth just highlighting this, Dan, because you did notice it. Unfortunately, just from a very first impressions, because we don't know what the content of this is, something like that is going to be a red flag to the potential viewer, and people haven't reacted well in the likes and dislikes. But also, that could be brushing up against YouTube community guidelines. So really do your research in those guidelines. As I say, I don't know what the content is, but I think with the respect of that community and what you're saying in that title and that thumbnail, that could earn you a community strike. Again, if we're misinterpreting the video, we apologize, but that's kind of how it's being led. So make sure that your content,
I wonder if it's restricted,
is appropriate for YouTube in terms of their guidelines. What was that, Jeff? Sorry?
I said, I wonder if it gets filtered by restricted mode.
Could I try that? No, I don't want to change the settings. It's just going to send everything haywire if I do that.
No worries.
Yeah.
But that's possible. They got to be careful with that stuff for sure. So it's good advice.
Anything bullying, harassment, that type of thing, just be really careful, because we're sort of going to give you the same feedback there as using copyright content. It's a dangerous thing to do, and we as auditors can't help you with that type of thing, because it's against, I guess, the YouTube community guidelines, the spirit of YouTube, and so on. So I think let's move on to the next channel there. I think you got a lot of advice there from Dan. And so we are now going to look at Norwalk Community College TV. And this, Dan, is because we are just celebrating one of our moderators, Michael Shiro, who's graduated, I think, maybe from this college or is supporting this college during his education. Michael, do let us know in the chat if we're getting that right.
Yes, I'm pretty sure that Michael goes to Adelphi, which is a college that's pretty local to me. I don't know whether he's fully remote or whatnot. So maybe this was part of an internship or helping out Norwalk Community College TV. But Michael Shiro and all of our moderators do an amazing job in this chat, in Discord, sort of all over the vidIQ community. So it's awesome to sort of give back in a way. He's asked me to, if we could possibly check out this channel. And, you know, graduating college is a momentous occasion, especially right now where everything has been crazy and haywire the last year. I know Michael Shiro is very into sports, and that's really sort of his bread and butter and what he wants to go into as a profession. And very few businesses and worlds have been as rocked as sports in the last year. I know it's super tough to get work in those positions. It's super hard to even do volunteer work because a lot of games aren't going on. When they are going on, they're not allowing a lot of people. So congrats to Michael Shiro. We'll take a look at this Norwalk Community College TV channel. And again, just congratulations on that. And thank you so much for everything you do around here.
My very simple question to whoever runs this channel is, who is this channel for? Because right now it feels like a place just to put students' work from the college, as opposed to maybe appealing to a broader audience. It's like, these feel like projects that have been done by students, and they upload them to this channel, and then maybe they get peer review and assessment. But beyond that, I don't know what would be here for a viewer maybe wanting to learn more about the program at this college. Because I think I read in the About section something about what they do. But again, not so. While taking courses in TV production, students can serve as interns. So are the students serving as interns and then just putting what they get from those internships onto the channel?
Yeah, and I think that's an interesting point, right? If this community college has studio space, they have sort of technology, cameras, and video editing software, that means they're setting themselves up to have sort of a high level feel and look to their channel. And I really don't think we're, getting it from here. I mean, some of the color grading on a lot of these thumbnails are not great. And I'm assuming that they're screenshots directly from the video, meaning that the color grading throughout the video is probably pretty poor. They sort of look like a PBS show that you would have seen, 20 years ago, based on sort of the looks of them.
Looks like
and
VHS.
I think now we've found Michael Shiro, and look at that, he's got 85 views, so he's up there on this totem pole of what the people are watching. But now I expect him to kind of step up and say, hey, I've got some experience on YouTube. I know that Michael Shiro's channel is monetized. He's got he's got some fans going on there. I imagine that he can give some insight into some of the things that is working here. Whereas we want to make this channel look as professional as possible, which means every little insight into this channel should have that professional feel and look. And again, I really don't think we're getting it from this. And now obviously with COVID, maybe a lot of these videos are not being in that studio. Maybe they're all being shot at home. But again, that is something that we sort of specialize in here, where we're telling people constantly to make their channel look as good as possible, make their thumbnails stand out, make their thumbnails pop, create a channel banner that will give us some sort of interesting information about the channel, what we're sort of expecting and what we're going to get. And because it's a college campus, there should be some interesting backgrounds, some cool places, some local things that you can spotlight, as opposed to sort of everything looks like it's on a very one-dimensional background. Everything is sort of, again, shot in home or shot in the studio with a very plain background. And there are lots of ways that you can play around with a YouTube channel and not just post the simple backgrounds that you have available to you.
Yeah, some of these look like they're from Saved by the Bell. The the camera style.
That's exactly the feeling I got, like I said, from like an older PBS show or something.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming they're not. I mean, they're obviously videos from within the last year. I'm assuming they're not bringing up old videos from their community college and just posting those, right? And like you said, someone who comes across this page may be a prospective student, right? So they may be interested in not only this college, but this program. Does this put the best foot forward? Does this make you want to go to this college and say, oh, wow, I could learn a ton about video production when you look at a video that isn't color corrected properly or has such an old feeling to it that it doesn't seem like it was made with modern technology? If I was Michael Shiro, I would go to the person who's running this channel and bring these points to them and say, hey, we need to look like a modern 21st century production house channel, something where you see this channel and you say, wow, I can learn a ton from these people. I could step in day one and get a ton of experience from the people who are running this channel, as opposed to just feeling like the students themselves are running this channel and learning as they go.
And I've done a cardinal sin here of using black text, or red text on screen. But I think this entire channel, in terms of its value proposition, the titles, the thumbnails, everything needs a why, and absolutely nothing on this channel needs a why. Nothing on this channel currently has a why. For example, why are you interviewing Franco? Like, tell me something interesting in the title. Like, is he a great interviewer, or is he a specialist at filmography? Is he a technician? What am I gonna learn from Franco, which I may find interesting and entertaining? And that then turns it into something that's, as you say, Dan, is going to appeal to maybe prospective students or people who are interested in television production as a possible career going forward. And you feel as if you should get that from a community college television YouTube channel.
Yep. And I actually worked with a community college. Actually, it was a community college or a creator, quote unquote, who was managing the channels for multiple colleges.
Yeah.
And what it seems like what I'm seeing here, because one of the channels that they were managing was exactly like this, where it was literally just a repository, almost like they were just using YouTube for the hosting to archive the videos.
Yeah.
But some of their other some of the other channels that were doing better was because they were actively using the channel to promote the college. Like, they were investing in it, and he was going around doing student interviews and doing how-tos, like how to get through your orientation and best tips to find dorms and all this stuff for people who are like interested in attending to this college. So where the closest restaurants are, who hires our students, like all kinds of stuff that really helps you out if you're planning on going to this college. So that's something where maybe NCC needs to kind of take the bull by the horns here and decide what they want to do. Do they want to use YouTube as a repository? Cool. Otherwise, really make the best use of it.
Let's move on to the next channel, and we're going to look at Salty and Sakura Gaming. And I will start with Alexi on this one. What are we looking at here, Alexi?
Yeah, so looks like it's a live stream channel. At least that's the value proposition. Well, not just live streams, guides and tips too. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'm correcting myself there. But yeah, it's Animal Crossing, the game. First impression, looks like a couple playing together, enjoying themselves. So this could be actually quite interesting already, because it's actually more fun to watch two people play than just one person. I mean, it's easier to be entertaining when you're just with someone paired up. So that's helpful for them. Now, in terms of live streams, obviously, the numbers are maybe not as high as some of the regular videos. And the last video, for example, is only 14 seconds in length. I'm not sure if this is a short or whether this is just a short gameplay video. Yeah, it is a short. I mean, it's hashtag. There's a hashtag there.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, old advice, I guess. I mean, it's still valid, right? If you see something like this pop for you, where you're using a short and showing something funny that happened to you in the game, just lean into that for a little bit. I mean, pretty much, I'm seeing another one just below it: Villager Hunt for Wario in Animal Crossing. Hashtag shorts, 800 views again. So live streams don't seem to perform well. I actually had a channel like this in an audit. And same thing was happening. Short content, or at least the short content from competition, was performing really, really well. But then when you try to transition those viewers into long form content, such as live streams, it just doesn't work. And I think the reason why this is happening is because you need to think where the viewer is consuming your content. So when they're watching shorts, they are basically looking at their phone, right? Now, if you want to watch a live stream, are you really gonna watch a full live stream on your phone? Like, how many guys? Let us know in chat how many of you are actually watching this live stream on a phone device right now, so we know, because I feel like it's a different viewer experience, live stream versus shorts, and a different device.
So there's a bit of a challenge here for the channel, I think, because every time they make a short, especially with Animal Crossing, and it feels as if maybe Animal Crossing is perhaps an untapped YouTube Shorts area of gaming, and the default is to do Minecraft Shorts, which many creators have done and successfully, but it's got very competitive very quickly. Maybe Animal Crossing is one that's been overlooked by many Shorts creators, and the channel's doing well in that sense. But as you say, Alexei, the audience is going from 15, 30-second bite-sized bits of content to then the only other alternative is 20-minute/2-hour live streams. Is too much of a jump there. So what is the question that we're asking here? Maybe they need to start a separate Shorts channel, or just maybe focus on only live streaming or only Shorts going forward for a couple of weeks, months? Or do you think there's room for both types of content on a channel, given the current size of it?
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing, the typical formula, and I see the creator is in chat, by the way, so it's always nice when people we are auditing are also in chat, so, and they're taking notes, as they're saying. So I would say the typical formula to grow a channel is you start with shorts, then as you have build up a massive audience, and when I say massive, I do mean like in the thousands or maybe potentially 100,000, then you can transition into longer form content. And then once you have shorts and long form content that's working for you, at this point you can actually transition probably into live streams as well, right? Just as the ultimate thing. But I know this is a long journey. I'm not even sure if live streams will work, if long form content works, but this is basically how you do it. First shorts, then regular videos that are longer. And then after that, just try to build up your brand, your personality, make people watch the content for you and not for the tips. I mean, it's always nice if they watch for the tips, but ultimately you want to be someone who people just know because they like your personality. And then once you reach that point where people come for your brand and not just for the tips and how-to content, well, they will watch pretty much anything, just as people are watching Rob Wilson right now, because Rob is educating people on YouTube, but at the same time, people are they're gonna just tune in and watch this live stream. Why? Not because we're just auditing you guys, but also because Rob is here, and you like Rob. I mean, you guys like Rob. I mean, this is the truth, right?
Well, we'll put that to the test next week, because I'm having a week off, so we'll see what the numbers are next week. What general thumbnail thoughts? Are we just happy with where they are at the moment? They seem to be fairly strong. That the text is bright and vibrant, not too complicated. Most of these, they're even sometimes making thumbnails for shorts as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're very vibrant, very great color usage on these. Some good usage of their own pictures, but I think one thing, and I kind of end up saying this every single week, is I feel like these channels should really leverage kind of the big stars, quote unquote, on a lot of these videos. If you're making a Zelda video, I should be able to pick out Zelda as I'm scrolling by quickly. It shouldn't be just Zelda from really far away, or an Animal Crossing character is right up in my face. These are very recognizable, well looked after, well researched characters that when I see pop up on my feed, I'm more likely to click on them. So if they're far away and distant and in the background, great colors, great looks to the thumbnails overall, but I think you're going to capture a lot more people on your click-through rate when you have someone like Zelda or Mario or Link or Mario or any of these characters front and center, rather than having them sort of in the background with a lot of the background elements surrounding them.
My final suggestion was going to be for the shorts. just be aware when somebody watches one of your videos on the Shorts player, the bottom, I'd say, quarter of the screen is occupied by YouTube details such as the channel icon, the title, and the subscribe button. So this bottom section may be interfering with that area of your video. You've also sort of letterboxed the top of it as well, so that might be a challenge. But the reviews, let's play, tips, tricks, I think that's almost going to get lost. So it might just be worth checking what it looks like. You know, make the video, then go to your channel, go to your short shelf, and then just look at some of these videos through the Shorts player and see how, I guess, the design of the video itself is working in the Shorts player. So that is Salty and Sakura Gaming. We hopefully gave you some useful advice there. And again, we're going to have quite a pivot
Not to jump
here.
in, but we've gone into the shout outs with this last channel. I don't know if you recognize that, but you know, sometimes we get a bit delayed in our audits, and that could be one reason why.
Oh, well, never mind. Next channel we're going to look at here is Cassandra Joy. Yeah, big pivot there from gaming to a vlog channel that's cozy, caffeinated, and encouraging. And I believe, Alexei, this was your pre-selected channel. So if you want to jump in first, and then we'll add our thoughts.
Yeah, I kind of stumbled upon this channel in our list. Basically, entered a random number, and you know, it gave me a random number. So, but yeah, I like this channel. I like this channel because first of all, there are a lot of vlog channels out there that are basically struggling to find a direction. And for this channel, the direction is pretty clear where to go. It's really the question whether the creator wants to go in that direction. So they have a couple of videos that are performing really well for them, relatively well compared to everything else. And that's plus size try on haul, right? Not the first one, not the makeup brushes video, although it's also popular. But in fact, if we look at the top videos here in the first line, plus size does come up there on the right. Plus size try and haul, but this is really the thing where I know channels are basically building their audience on the back of this. All right, so plus size try and haul, and they're using different brands like Shein. There is actually a video there from 3 months ago in the second row, second from the right. Plus size try and haul Shein. So that's the type of content that the channels are doing and succeeding with, and the basic advice here would be to kind of lean into that for a little bit. And then, of course, you can transition into other topics, such as Get Ready With Me, for example. Or if you really understand, you know, the interests of your core audience, you could maybe give some styling tips, some fashion tips. Like, I actually saw a video that was performing relatively well for a channel in that niche, try and haul type of niche, and it was about the topic. I had to Google how to pronounce the clothing, but it was how to style culottes for curly girls, right? So that's exactly one of those titles. It's the idea is not on this channel; it's on the competitor, but that's the thing, right? So there's a special piece of clothing, culottes, and you know, the audience has a question around this piece of clothing and how to style it. So obviously, if you can come up with more ideas like that, going into the styling direction, instead of just making try and haul videos over and over again, although try and haul in itself is a huge niche, right?
It is, yeah.
And plus size try and haul is also big enough for you to get 50,000 subscribers or even more than that, right? Because I've seen channels that are literally just doing try and haul over and over and over again. That's the only format that they have on their channel, and they're crushing it. Right. So the only thing is, do you want to do it? So that's basically my advice on kind of topic selection. Now, in terms of thumbnails, I have to say this is, I guess, unfortunately, quote unquote, the state of the niche too. A lot of girl channels, they're using a lot of curvy text. It's all looks super pretty when the thumbnail is big, right? And I mean, but at the end of the day, on a mobile device, you cannot read this. If even on my screen right now, on a big screen, in the top row, the fourth video from the left, Thrift With Me, right? The one that's this one. This one. No, the other one. Yeah, this one. Either way, the fourth from the left or the third from the right.
Oh, that one, yeah.
Yeah, it's like you have to zoom in, right, to basically get the thing there. So I do like the font. I mean, the font looks like it's a font, a brand that's selling lipstick would use, absolutely. But for YouTube purposes, this needs to be so much bigger, and the visuals, the focus on you has to be much, much bigger, because there I just see two girls in the background, but I also see a wall and an apartment, I guess. So it's a thrift store basically. So yeah, I mean, thumbnail, but this is not unique to this channel. This is something you can find on even the successful channels. And when I say successful, I'm talking about 50K subscribers, for example, right? They will do the same thing. Curvy text stuff. Maybe the one thing that they're doing slightly better is they still using curvy font, but they're using just 3 words instead of 3 sentences, like in this example sometimes, or 3 phrases, right? So that's something to think about. But overall, obviously, the channel has style. I looked into one of the videos. I like the personality of the creator. I think that she has the potential because she's just bubbly and fun, you know, and fun to watch. So there's potential there. It's all about focusing on the right topic in the beginning. And yeah, I guess that's really it. Just focus on the right topic. In this case, it would be try and haul plus size and then plus particular brand like Shein or something else.
I think there may be a channel worth following for this person. I'm just trying to remember what they're called. I think it's Plus Size in Canada. Yes, this person. And looking at the channel, it's kind of similar. They do a lot of shop with me, try on hauls. I think it's like a family vlogging as well. But the difference with this channel is that they vlog every single day. I don't know how they do it. Each of these vlogs is like 20 to 50 minutes long sometimes. And if you look at the size of this channel, 5,500 subscribers. But look at the view counts, like ultra consistent, like 1,500, 3,000, 2,500, 3,500, 3,200. That sort of community within that channel is incredible. There's nothing really going viral here, but they've built up a watching habit with their audience that they always tune in to watch this channel. So they may be worth looking at as a similar creator in your genre. And as you said, Alexei, the thumbnails are, even on these ones, are very chaotic. You know, there's text that you can hardly read. There's all sorts going on. But that is kind of a niche, the style of a niche, isn't it? I think Cassandra Joy had more pastels and softer colours, but kind of that similar text and then lots of different images on the thumbnails themselves. I'll open the floor to Jeff and Dan if you notice anything else for this channel.
I mean, you guys really covered most of it really, really well. I completely agree that the text, the fonts of the text, you know, really, I know it looks good, but I agree completely on that. Keep it simple, keep it bold, less words. You know, if you can express it in 1 to 3 words, then, I mean, have at it. You just want people in the 1 to 2 seconds that you have of someone's attention as they're scrolling. That's the amount of time you have. So if you can keep it super simple, like day of discovery, boom, thrift with me, boom, but just make it easier to read so that I don't have to do like a second take or anything. But aside from that, I mean, overall, I think it's looking good. You're in a good niche.
I was just checking on each of their titles. They include their own channel name at the end of a title. You think that's worth doing?
Not necessarily. Unless you really
maybe test with
so
that.
here's the thing. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big fan of it, and I did it right at the very beginning, and I had somebody come in and tell me, I think it was our friend Mr. Niman, and he was like, "Hey, is your name, your channel name, one of your top search terms on your channel right now in your analytics?"
Yeah.
And the answer was no, and he was like, "Then why are you including it?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's searching for your name." So he's like, "Keep it to what the keyword is that you're aiming for." So that was it.
Yeah, at least to begin with, when a channel hasn't built up maybe the broad authority
Correct.
for that search term to become important. But
Right.
that's something just to test. Very easy to take out maybe for a couple of videos. Let's move on to the next one, and it's going to be Adam Luke. Oh, this might be very relevant at this time of year. Graduate jobs, self-improvement, and investing. And I think, Jeff, was this the one that you picked to begin with?
Yep.
to kick us
And I
off for it.
randomly picked it at that, just to be clear. But it's one of the, it's one of the ones where it did catch my attention. Very timely content right now. And I like the way it was looking overall. I mean, he's almost at 800 subscribers, so congratulations to them. They're going to be breaking 1,000 here pretty soon. So overall, I like what he was doing. Let's see, self-improvement. So graduate job, self-improvement, and investing. So this is one of the things that kind of confused me when I first looked at this was Marvel tier list. All 23 MCU movies ranked. I'm not sure how this ties into graduate job, self-improvement, and investing.
Yeah.
But I mean, it looks like a fun video, but if you look at the like ratio is way down. The
True.
views are way down on it.
Yeah.
So this is something where I would say maybe if you want to do that sort of stuff, you may want to do it on a separate channel. It's free to make a separate channel. But keep on message with what you're doing here. You've already identified the niche that you want to be in. And if it's, jobs, finance, self-improvement, really you should stick to that because that's the stuff that's working well for you.
Okay, I'm just looking at these. So we had a really good run here of videos that were performing very well between 6 and 9 months ago. And it looks as if they were following the trend of, because people tend to graduate between now and the middle of summer. And it looks as if people were starting to do a search for this type of stuff maybe in the fall, the beginning of fall last year, and you really nail it on the head. So I guess maybe trying to put yourself in the graduate's shoes right now as of May the 18th. What are they going to be doing for the next 3 to 6 months in terms of their graduate journey? Is it going to be applying for postgraduate courses? Is it going to be applying for particular jobs in particular sectors? I think you've probably already answered some of these in videos, but it feels as if right now, as the search terms are going to start to exponentially increase over the next few months, almost remaking those videos, but with what you've learned and maybe from some of the questions you got in those previous videos, it's almost like doubling down and repeating a bit.
Yeah. Can we start by most popular real quick? Let's see what they've got popping off on this channel because they got some videos that are getting some thousands of views here.
Yeah, it was these ones.
Home renovation, interesting.
How to get a graduate job UK.
How to.
Graduate scheme, working from home one. And yeah, these graduate scheme top 10 tips things were all really kicking off around the same time last year, Jeff.
Yeah, seasonal. So that's fine. This is seasonal content is totally fine because I do something similar myself. There's a lot of channels that do stuff, seasonally as well. So this is the time to where you want to, even if you're technically redoing sort of the same content, you're obviously going to have learned things in the past year, or things might have changed, or maybe there's updates to the process. So this is the type of content that's really helpful for people, even though it's going to peak in a certain couple of months of the year. It can still lead you to a lot of growth. This is something like when I say I do seasonal content, I get huge growth spurts on my channel, usually around January, February of every year. And that's seasonal. So I know which videos I need to make around that time to have that growth spurt happen. So there's nothing wrong with that, but just definitely lean into it. That how-to stuff works well. Usually it's evergreen, so people will be watching it over a long period of time. So this is stuff that can work really well. I like how to skip like a pro. I mean, there's stuff in here, but there's a lot of how-to stuff that definitely works. So
I was going to ask you about these, Jeff. Like, do you think these videos here, even though they've done well, could ultimately harm the channel? Like how to skip like a pro, 10 awesome jump ropes. You're talking about why they did a Marvel one recently. Well, they ranked all of the Star Wars movies and those did well. And then this one here about renovating a house, I guess that might be connected a little bit to graduate stuff. It feels like one of those channels where, if you had maybe tens of thousands of subscribers, you could do these somewhat, I guess, personal journey stories that are a little loosely connected to what feels like the core of the channel, which is the graduate job scheme tutorials. Or do you think we're maybe being a bit too restrictive for this channel and they should be allowed to do these occasional experimentations?
I mean, I say go for it. But normally try to keep it close to what you're doing at least try to keep it in the same realm. Like if you're a cooking channel, I don't want you showing me how to change the oil on my car. Not saying that that same person can't do that or have both of those skill sets, but when you think about your viewers, you got to think about that Venn diagram where you talk about two things that are so far apart. Now you only have this narrow audience of people who like both of those types of content. So if you're going to be a cooking channel, then maybe instead of talking about how to upgrade your vehicle, you're going to want to talk about baking or maybe reviewing cooking utensils. So two things that are interconnected with each other. So if we're going to go out and experiment with some different content, try to at least keep it close to the content that you're already known for.
Alexei, Dan, any extra thoughts you want to jump in with here, or are we good to move on?
Yeah, I talked to a channel from UK, one of the coaching channels that we have. And they're also into this buy to let UK type of thing. I mean, the thing is, when you look at this channel, a lot of these videos could be an entry video for a separate channel just on this topic. You could just have a channel around Marvel. You could just have a channel around real estate, stocks, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency. I mean, it's and graduates, right? So the thing is, I understand why the creator is doing this. They're experimenting. They don't want to restrict themselves to just one thing. They want to try, and then when something pops, potentially maybe they can lean stronger into that aspect. But at the same time, they already have a 13,000 video on the channel, so it popped for them, basically, in other terms. And yet they are just continuing this trial and error experiment here. And I think the creator in general, like looking at the guy and at the smile, I mean, you sense a little bit of charisma there. So I think that the person does have it, even without watching a video. Just looking at this channel as a whole, I think that there is talent here, right?
The about section certainly suggests that, Alexei.
Yeah,
I like the confidence.
Yeah, he's confident on camera. He's smiling. The thumbnails look inviting, basically, right? So I think overall, this is a creator who, again, just needs focus, right? I know it's hard to find the right focus when, hey, I like this. Like, for example, even the thing that Jeff was saying, make things that are at least somewhat related to each other. So, for example, if you're into real estate, you can talk about buy-to-lets. You can talk about different strategies like buy, renovate, rent, remortgage, and whatever. You could talk about Airbnb. Airbnb in itself is already almost like a niche in itself, but I've seen channels combine Airbnb with buy-to-let. I mean, but you really need to kind of find your slice of the pie, because right now you're doing things that big YouTubers are doing. Like YouTubers who have 1.5 million subscribers, they can afford to talk about anything. But that's because they have such a massive audience. And again, I'm repeating myself here, but people are watching these big YouTubers not also for the value that they provide, but mostly because they just like the person on camera.
Yeah,
and to get to that stage, you just need to grow first with something consistent.
They've built relationships. There's trust being built there over a long period of time. And every creator ultimately wants that, don't they? But as you say, Alexei, that can, depending on how often you post, that can take a year, or it could take many years, just to build that relationship between the creator and the audience. Let's move on to. Oh, go ahead. What was that?
I was going to say, Adam Luke is in the chat, and he's thanking us, and he says he's going to take the feedback, double down on the content, and focus.
You are more than welcome, Adam. You are more than welcome. Let's do some shout outs at this point. What we do here is Dan just picks out a few channels which we're not necessarily going to audit, but we will shout them out, and it doesn't discount them from the random audit selections, but we want to try and cover as many channels as we can. So I will do the first shout out here, and that is to AJ Digger. Now, what makes me chuckle a little bit about this channel is that they're called AJ Digger, but all of the thumbnails seem to suggest that this channel is about drones. So I was thinking I might be watching a channel which is about construction vehicles or diggers. But it's not. It's about drones. So it was just a curious disconnect between a channel name and the content. It's not necessarily a bad thing. And you have 160 subscribers, but look at the view counts. Look at all of the view counts here. Phenomenal. All smash. You're punching well above your weight with every single video that you make. So I would just be encouraging you to continue making as much content as possible while you have that momentum. Yes, some of it looks to be potentially shorts. Yeah, it is shorts. So it feels as if you're finding a bit of a place in the droning shorts category, which again might be untapped. So I would continue to encourage you to do that. But you're also getting some good views on your long form content as well. So this is just, I think, an opportunity here to just keep doing what you're doing. Maybe tweak the thumbnails a little bit. Is there anything that we're going to see by most popular? All right, so one of your most popular videos is literally a week old. And it's something to do with Minecraft and real life droning. You see, whenever you make a Minecraft short, whatever it's about, it seems to do well. But there's a nice tie in there with droning and Minecrafting. So interesting stuff going on there. That is AJ Digger. Dan, I would like you to shout out this channel.
The money. I'm assuming that's how he says it every time. 15,000 subscribers. Looks like is this Roblox channel?
It looks to be, yeah.
Maybe personality mixed in as well. But congratulations to the money. Hopefully making that money monetize here. Congrats on the success. And
So,
again, we always say if you're a growing channel, maybe this is the type of person that you should look at, right? It's a popular niche. They're not, I think I said it right there. They're not a huge channel, so they're still having to do a lot of the work that the smaller channels are doing, but they've had some success. So if you're a Roblox channel, look at what they're doing, try and see what's working well for them, and see how you can incorporate it into your content.
At first, Dan, I thought this was Shane McMahon's channel. Yeah, you got that reference. It looks as if it's a channel that's focusing on a particular mod within Roblox, which is TDS. I went to the about section to work out what this was, and then I forgot it. Tower Defense Simulator. I've not heard of this mod before in Roblox, so it's good that you found a mod within a very popular game. A lot of this is shorts, so you're doing very well in the shorts category, but I also noticed that some of your long form content is getting tons of views as well. So I think while the iron is hot, I wouldn't just be exclusively focusing on shorts. I'll be trying to create some more long form content while you have that momentum going on your channel. I mean, look at that, 15,000 views on a live stream. That is incredible stuff for the channel. And so, yeah, make sure to keep it up. Some of the thumbnails maybe could do a little bit of work as well. But again, if they're shorts, how long do you really want to spend on them? Shout out, this one is coming from Jeff. We are looking at
Mr. Spaceman. It almost threw me off. I thought it was Mrs. Paceman. It's Mr. Spaceman. So it was
yeah, it could be interpreted
that banner
that way,
that threw
it?
me off there. Yeah, because I was like, is that Mr. Spaceman? Or so yeah, it's on me. But still, shout out to Mr. Spaceman. 327 subscribers, so on their way and conquering football one galaxy at a time. Now, I'm assuming we're talking about football, not American football. I think we're talking about what we Americans call soccer. But yeah, man. So shout out to them. What's that?
Soccer.
Rugby. Is he talking about rugby? Is this rugby?
No.
This is Football Manager. And this
is that what it is?
This is the Football Manager.
FM21. Yeah.
Which is an amazing game. The franchise is pretty cool. I mean, I'm actually familiar with this niche because here's a small thing you guys probably don't know about me. Not even, my colleagues here, but I used to play this game and I used to make videos about this game and record, episodes. Just the same thing as this creator is doing, episode 15 or whatever, my journey to Europa League and stuff like that. So I'm familiar with the niche, and I think that it's a pretty, it's a tough niche to grow in. It's just that the biggest channels have 100K subs, right? That's like the ceiling, basically. And so I think that they do try to experiment here with topics like finding wonder kits and combining that with shorts and stuff like that. It could work, obviously. So the strategy here is right. We'll see how it's gonna turn out.
Do you think
it's basically.
Do you think the thumbnails fit the space, the topic? Just like big club badges, and then some text next to it.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, definitely. So this Partisan to Glory episode 1, this is exactly how you would do the thing. It's very common to have a very consistent thumbnail episode to episode. Obviously, some other thumbnails are a little bit too busy for my liking, like Tigers of Asia. It's there's too much going on there. But overall, this is more or less consistent. And I like the fact that the creator is experimenting with shorts, even like touching on some topics like VAR in FM21, And why I mean, this is the perfect title, why I hate VAR in Football Manager. So for shorts, it does work. Whether there's an audience, that's another question, right? Because I feel like this is an observation I've been seeing. Shorts do work for soccer, but just not as well as you would think. Shorts should work for soccer. It's one of the most popular games in the world, like sports in the world, right? But for some reason, it's just nowhere close to Minecraft or anything like that. So yeah.
Next shout out is for Dixie Gaming, and they look to have a very strong, consistent gaming vibe in all of their content. They are definitely focusing and niching down on listicles, the top 5 of something. I'm just not familiar with the game. Okay, is it Mobile Legends? Is it Mobile Legends for all of the games? I'm going to assume that the thumbnails are very, so it's Mobile Legends, and they've decided that they're going to do very current content, like the top 5 majors in a particular month and a particular year. And that means that they can almost like recreate this content every single month, which is an interesting tactic. And yeah, look at the view counts on some of these. 5,000, 2,000, gain a very strong community for the audience. If I was a gaming channel, I'll be looking at what's the foundations of this channel. How can you make this content exciting when it on the surface it looks like you're just doing the same thing over and over again? And my guess is that the top 5 best X for Mobile Legends is something that this creator can really just powerfully use over and over again. And they've also experimented with shorts, but it looks as if it didn't work for the channel. But no problem. They've moved on, and they know what does work for their channel. And I
think this channel jumped out at me because it's a great real-world example where I've been playing Wild Rift, the League of Legends mobile game. Not this specific one, it's a different one. But this is exactly the type of channel that I searched out when I was trying to learn how to play, right? I want to know what the best 5 classes for a beginner are, the best 5 strategies for any player, the best ways to spend your gold, the best way to attack minions, the best way to counter specific champions. All of these things I went directly to YouTube for to try and learn. And a lot of these things can be applied across the genre to multiple games, to multiple content types, to multiple niches. And this person is just doing it really well and a really nice way of presenting it.
Yeah, they've gone through a lot of thumbnail tests here over their journey.
But the listicles do quite well. Even back then, some of them were getting, thousands of views. And this is something that I try to tell people to like really think about, because this is stuff that really works well. If you can give people that level of bite-sized information really quick, this is why top 5s work well on my channel. So listicles are a thing, man. They're not going anywhere. So definitely something to really pay attention to here. Whether you do a monthly, I do mine quarterly. But yeah, I mean, however it works for you.
I'm just thinking of how you can transition maybe what would this be? So the theme is top blank or top 5 of blank. Where else could you go with this in terms of Mobile Legends? It might be, Dan, you maybe will answer this better. It might be the top 5 maps, or the top 5 defensive locations in a map, or top 5 items, or the top 5 counters, like you say.
Yeah, the game is usually broken up into lanes, right? So you have like your solo lane, your mid lane, your duo lane. You have sort of the roamer character. So again, those are perfect ways to break it down. Then the game has, so many different intricacies in terms of items you could buy, the strategy for upgrading sequences, like you said, the counters for one character versus another. There are so many ways that you can go down this road for this game specifically.
And the final shout out, and I think we'll each do a sentence shout out for this one. So let's start with Dan, if you want to do the first shout out for Paupers.
Shout out to Paupers, 628 subscribers in the anime genre.
Nice. Jeff, what would you say about Paupers?
Paupers, man, I'm liking the strength of the thumbnails. I like the fact that they're showing those reactions. So good for you, man.
And Alexi, you would say...
I see lots of potential here. Anime, I mean, it's huge. So the channel can grow really, really to something here.
And I would say, just again, folks, look at the titles that they're using, the best ofs, the top 10s. These are all tried and tested formulas that do work, but if you can do it in a powerful way, especially with these strong thumbnails, then you can start to build an audience. So yeah, congratulations to you, Paupers. A nice channel deal up in there. How are you for time, Alexi? I know you committed to 90 minutes, but you're already over.
Yeah, I'm enjoying this so much. I'm gonna stay until the end.
You sound like you're enjoying it. All right then. So we have.
He didn't really need to go. He just assumed he'd hate being here. And wanted to get out.
So we have the random ball picker now that we're going to do for the next 10 to 15 minutes. Interestingly, it's sponsored by Go Premium. It looks as if an advert's been put at the top. But what I can do here, if I just zoom in the page, look, I just made the advert go away. That's pretty useful. Right, so the first channel we're going to pick is a non-gaming channel, and that is channel 205. So we go into this form, we type in that number, and it looks as if, purely by random, we're going to be auditing another Pokemon channel. If it's not a gaming channel. Is it a card collecting channel? I think it is. All right. So how ironic is that? We started off with Legendary PCO. Purely by random, we're picking another Pokemon card channel. So let's take a look at this one. I mean, we could almost do like a direct comparison here, couldn't we? In terms of, I think this channel's thumbnails are a lot better than the first channel because they're focusing very much on each card. But I think there's still some issues with text. I think the text isn't being used very effectively. That would be my thoughts, but I open it to the rest of you. Chaps, what do you think?
Well, what I would say is that I do like the style of the thumbnails. I don't like that it's a bit hard to see sort of the packaging and the front and center. Like I'm always saying, I like you to use the assets that you have on hand. I love you to focus on the Pokemon and the great imagery that are, time and dedication have been placed into these. And there's sort of an obscure angles. They're sort of not really clear to see some of these. I would love to really be able to see the front of that packaging, get a really good intrinsic look at what exactly is going to be opening right away, and I think that's going to make it have a better look to it.
I would almost say like ditch the text entirely and include some of that text, like secret rare hunt, for example. Instead of here we go again, you could use secret rare hunt, vermilion bloodline, etc. Would have been slightly more powerful, because the thumbnail without the text, I mean, I like the color in the background, I like the packaging, so I mean, that shot in particular works. But I also agree with Dan that maybe some other shots could be, you could just squeeze a little bit more out of the box, because obviously you could just take a look at any, even tech YouTubers, so people who do unboxing, they manage to have the product within the frame without corners being cut or anything. So if the box looks pretty and exciting, basically the company did the design for you already for the thumbnail. You just make a good snapshot, good photo of that, and use it without any text.
I think if this creator was going to use text, then a couple of techniques are to add a drop shadow or a big stroke effect to the text so it stands out a little bit more, and maybe change the color from white, because I think white blends in too much if you decided to keep the text. And then titling wise, I think there's a bit more thought going into the intrigue here. Like, come forth Shenron, having a mad party, $300 plus spent on rainbow rare cards. So there's some intrigue going on there. I feel as if almost this channel and this channel should do some sort of collab together, because they're of similar sizes right now. So it might be a good time for them to make a video together. Just what by most popular. Is there anything really jumping out here that they could capitalize on here? So Rainbow Rare did well there. Was that a shot? Yeah, it was a shot. Okay. I'm hearing a bit of silence here, so I think we've exhausted our expertise on this one. Let's move on to the next channel, which is going to be a gaming channel. This is channel number 73 that we're going to take a look at here. And this channel is called Arcade City. So in my head, I have this channel that's going to be about retro arcade games. And is it going to deliver? Well, the channel banner seems to suggest that a little bit with the Nintendo controller. All right, what are we looking at here?
NES, man.
I am seeing quite a lot of content posted in the last day. I think it's absolutely fine to post more than one short a day. But if you're posting a video that's any longer than 2 or 3 minutes, just for cadence and viewing habits and giving each video a chance to breathe, I probably wouldn't have posted these videos within what looks to be a 24-hour period. I would maybe posted those 3 videos over the course of a week. And then...
Hey, think about that. I mean, that's 107 minutes worth of content in 3 days.
Yeah.
I don't know many channels that can get away with that, even bigger channels, and expect to have good retention from their viewers. I just know that a lot of people don't have that much time in their day. But then if you're making that much content and you're squeezing it all together, we always talk about creator burnout. If you're doing that on a daily basis, creating again, 100 and something minutes worth of content, and that's without any sort of editing or, thought being put into this, that might lead to burnout. And again, we talk about doing these Let's Plays. It's a super tough way to grow, very competitive. So many other channels are doing more interesting versions of this in terms of whether it's tips or tricks or lore or kind of delving into very specific aspects of this game. You're talking about Chip and Dale Rescue Ranger. It's a super old game, not a lot of search volume going on, and I'm getting no context here. It's Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. It's Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers 2. So part 1, part 2, you're playing what I assume is the entirety of the game. Is it 75% of the game? You're not showing me specific aspects of the game. And now you've created 57 minutes worth of Chippendales content, but how many people are really going to sit there and watch that? Where you could have broken it down into a bunch of different interesting segments, told me what's going to happen in this game, focused on some specific aspect in the thumbnail and the title, and potentially drawn me into this video and to the next video.
Dan, is that a sentence you ever thought you'd say? You've created 57 minutes of Chippendale content.
Well, you didn't realize that I used to run the Chippendales Dancing Instagram account, and that was a lot different than the vidIQ account. But we got banned and shut down, and I'm not allowed to make content based on male dancers or squirrels anymore. They're not squirrels. They're chipmunks. There we go. Chipmunks.
Stop digging, Dan. Stop digging. Is that Mr. Beast?
AJ Digger? It took us a while to realize that.
It looks like Jimmy. Kind of.
It does, doesn't it? When I mouse over, I don't see the creator's face. So that's a bit odd. If I was... I've played a lot of these games. And I wouldn't just want to watch somebody doing a playthrough of these games. I'd want to know the history or the lore or how the game was made and produced. Like almost going onto the Wikipedia page and getting all of this information and then telling it and then making a video out of it.
Oh, I agree. I'm the same way. I want to know some background. I want some history on this stuff. And there's a channel that I was working with who recently who does this sort of stuff. And he's not even talking about newer games. He's talking about stuff from like PS1, PS2, PS3.
Yeah.
And he's doing lore on this stuff, and he's getting a ton of views. Like he was doing lore around characters from like Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, and that's like getting numbers on those. So stuff like that, backstory, myths, lores, what do they call them? Alternate theories around their storylines. There's good stuff. There's good stuff to be had there.
And also just looking at, I just took Battletoads as an example. All of the content on the search here is very, very old. We're talking about stuff that's been made 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 8 years ago. There's just not that much search going on. And a lot of the big creators have already played this in terms of walkthrough content.
I was going to say, respect to anybody who remembers Battletoads.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I remember Snake, Rattle and Roll. That was a fantastic game for its time. Oh, and I remember Teenage Mutant... See, I'm getting all nostalgic now just about all these games that I played on my first console. Yeah. But at the same time, I don't want to watch anybody playing through it. You know, I might play the game myself on Nintendo Switch's, you know, the classic console that they have, but I don't want to watch any videos just about somebody playing it. Let's move on to the next channel. Go ahead.
Say
Alexi.
one thing from my own experience. I mean, I looked up maybe a NES game before simply because I had this nostalgia trip and just wanted to see like how did they I don't know, beat this boss, for example, anything like that, which I remember not being able to beat as a kid, for example. Right? So something like that. I mean, unless there are tons of people like that who are just being nostalgic, yeah, I agree with you guys.
I think I saw one creator who had this really good idea where he would play the first level of all of these Nintendo games. It's like the first level of Super Mario, then Super Mario 2, and then, you know, Snake, Rattle and Roll, Double Dragon. And I thought that was a really interesting idea. Again, if you put a lot of research and knowledge into what's going on with each of these games and how they were developed. Anyway, moving on to the next channel. This is Ghost Studios. And it looks as if they're a channel about game developments. Is this all they have? So they're just 2 weeks old right now. And they're testing shorts within game development, I think. Are these shorts or are these not shorts? I think they are. Yes, they are shorts. So I always... I'm intrigued as to what topics are being tested out on YouTube Shorts, which is interesting. Not too much to go on there, though. I mean, we have 2 long-form pieces of content here. How I started making games on YouTube, and then Unity versus Unreal. So starting to get into the idea of games development, but not too much there. Let's do it this way. We'll give this channel 4 pieces of advice from each of us, 1 sentence each, and we'll start with Jeff. What do you think they should do?
More than anything, start coming up with some sort of a structure for your content. So really bearing down to consistency. Figure out if you're going to do shorts, if you're going to do full-length content, and sort of come up with a schedule for yourself. And whether it's once a week, you know, 1 full piece of content, and then, you know, 4 shorts, whatever it is, just come up with a game plan, start getting these videos out here. But really the consistency, you know, set yourself a goal, whether it's 6 months, whether it's a year, to just really get some more content on the channel. And that's really what's going to take you further in actually getting your channel to grow.
Dan, 1 piece of advice from you.
Well, you're just 6 videos into this journey. So my advice would be to experiment. Try different aspects of coding and Unity history, the quote unquote lore of that company and the growth of the editor, and experiment a bit, see what works on your channel and see what you enjoy creating. If you really love the research into the company or you really love showing people how to code, those are 2 real different buckets. See which one you like, see which one works, and then try and focus on one of the concepts that you come up with.
And 1 from you, Alexi.
I think it's not an accident that the Unity versus Unreal, which engine to choose in 2021, is the best video so far in terms of views. I think that's a very interesting title. The versus angle, and then which is the best, basically, is the promise here in 2021 on which to choose. So I think try to come up with ideas that are more along those lines. And yeah, I think there is something here.
And I would just enhance what you said there a little bit, Alexi, by saying, yeah, this Unity versus Unreal one, that is one of the first type of videos you should try on your channel. So the follow-up might be the top 3 reasons to use Unity, the top 3 reasons to use Unreal, maybe as separate videos, and then what is the lowest hanging fruit in each of these development tools. Like, I need to know how to do this on the Unreal development engine, and I need to know how to do this on the Unity development engine, and just make tutorials about both of those things, just again as a test and experiments in terms of listicles versus video that they've already done, and then some tutorials as well. And I challenge you to do them within the next month, I would say. All right, I think we can squeeze in 1 more channel, and I'm going to make it a non-gaming channel because that was kind of like a gaming channel, even though it was gaming development. So we're going to look at nature, collecting, and comedy from Destination Stone. Oh, I think we've already audited this channel. This is one of those instances where a Channels that we've already audited comes up randomly selected. So I think, Alexi, since we may not have you on for a few weeks, I'm going to let you, and since you haven't seen this channel before, I'm going to let you finish off this live stream with your thoughts on this channel.
Yeah, I mean, let's sort the results by most popular. Let's see what's working for them. Looks like it's toy haul, basically, the big thing here.
I'm just wondering, did you ask me to sort by most popular because just on first impressions and not, I'm struggling to get like a strong vibe from the channel?
Well, partly also because I saw that buying toys is the topic here, so I wanted to see if they have something that was successful before on the same topic, but it looks like none of the videos really hit it off. So the next thing would be, is the niche toy hunting or toy haul a thing on YouTube? Because this is the first time I see it. I would guess maybe it is. And then, yeah, I mean, here's the thing, right? The thumbnails again, for example, destination ... toy hunt haul 3 green wheel SC targets. It's red text, red border, lots of shells with red undertones. It's second row, third from the right. And so I feel, to me, it felt like, yeah, so the recent thumbnails are a little bit better. I guess the creator learned from the tips you guys have given the creator here. Because, yeah, they look a lot cleaner now. No text at all or minimal. So they're moving in the right direction. Destination. I'm not sure. So destination ... Is it just because the channel is named Destination?
Yeah, interesting. Yeah.
Like this is the thing, right? If we are talking about like specific advice, try to make your titles as short and to the point as possible. And so when you have destination ... and that doesn't add any value other than, oh, right, so this is the video from the destination channel. So maybe ditch the destination unless it makes sense for the niche, but I'm guessing here it doesn't. And yeah, just toy hunt and haul, GameStop's something. Yeah, like without the destination, the titles would be a lot more appealing because then you will basically get the idea behind the video a lot quicker.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a technically perfect live stream after the first 5 minutes when you couldn't hear anything any of us was saying. I want to thank you, as always, Alexi, for taking time out of your very busy auditing day for joining us this week. It is very much appreciated, and we'd love to have you on again soon if you can. Since you are on camera, if you just want to say goodbye to a few people, if you've got the chat up. Sorry, I've kind of put you on the spot there.
No worries. So I see Junk there. Jung is a celebrity, in our circles. He's doing those animations. So shout out to Junk. Please don't include me in your next video. And I see some Cody Hindsight, Jello, Nico Thomason, Fountain Pen Sounds, NZ Art, Retro Obsessed, Eric, the Okapi. So yeah, shout out to you guys. Thank you for watching until the end, and maybe I'll see you next time. Yeah, thank you, Alexi, and we'll see you again soon on the live stream. Dan, say goodbye with your perfectly pronounced channel names.
Absolutely. I'm going to say goodbye to My Silly Reactions, to Ryu and Boba. Say goodbye to DCU Studios, of course. 720p Goat Soup. Something about that name just really sticks out to me. And to the one and only AJ Digger. Gotta love that name as well. And Jeff, thank you for making it through this live stream and recovering from your second COVID shot. Who are you saying goodbye to? First and foremost, 1 hour Trend, who's been hanging out with us in the chat and answering questions in there. So big shout out to you. Thank you for coming through. Short reviews as usual. Supporter, always see him in the live chat stream. So really, really appreciate you. Junk, as usual, being very, very motivational in the chat as per usual. And last but not least, we had our friend Loser Anna in the chat. She popped in today. So very happy to see her as well. And I'm saying goodbye to the following people. That include Grand Theft Gamer, Francine's Hair and Nails, Motivational Success, Tanner Animations, Subterranean Soundscape, and finally, Mike's Crafts and Fun. Thank you all for joining us this week. We will be back. Well, I say we. I think I'm taking next week off. So who's going to look after this live stream?
I don't know, and quite frankly, at least for 1 week, I do not care. But hopefully you all have a lot of fun in my absence. I will see you in 2 weeks, although I will see you tomorrow because I'm doing the webinar. And I still haven't sorted out what I'm going to do there, but, you know, we'll have some fun, I'm sure. Jeff, you're on screen, so wave awkwardly. And, yeah, we're going to outro now. See you soon.
Please make this entertaining. I love memes. Like, I want to see good memes.
You want me to be entertaining? I can try. Right, so that's what we've got to stick manify. Please put a picture of me on the wall. Alright, so she's got a head, she's got eyes.
We'll get to them very, very short.
Seriously?